What exactly did we learn from the Drake and Kendrick beef last year? Because it was actually much more than an argument between two legends in their own right. It was a perfect case study even for marketeers when it comes to niching down like Kendrick and owning a specific lane versus being everywhere like Drake. And right now, this exact conversation is happening everywhere on TikTok because business owners and content creators are stuck. Do I niche and only focus on posting about one thing? But what if I'm multi-talented? What if I have multiple interests and want to talk about different topics? Does that make me look confused? Business coaches are screaming, well, you need to niche down, pick one thing and own it. But creators are pushing back and saying, I'm not one-dimensional. Why should I post? Why should I hide parts of myself? So this is the Drake versus Kendrick debate. Drake went from Toronto hip-hop to R&B to pop to dancehall to Afrobeats to UK drill. People called him a sellout, a culture vulture, a trend chaser with no authentic core. But at the same time, he dominated nightclubs. He was the only artist who could get played at a wedding, at a funeral, at a club, and even a corporate event all in once. Everyone knew Drake. Kendrick stayed in his lane, West Coast, hip-hop, conscious rap, storytelling, but some people called him too niche. They said he's leaving millions on the table because mainstream brands are scared of him. He doesn't chase radio hits, he doesn't do pop features for money. Then the beef happened. Kendrick most definitely won, but it didn't actually kill Drake's brand. His tour still sold out, his streams didn't drop, his business kept winning. The question is, which strategy was actually right? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into. For those who are new here, I'm Abbianca. I've told thousands of stories as a journalist, generated hundreds of thousands when I worked in sales, and now I help brands figure out their storytelling and their positioning. Today, I'm going to show you who should build a brand like Drake, everywhere for everyone, who should build a brand like Kendrick, owning one lane completely, and how to apply it to your business or your personal brand. But before we get into the lessons, you'll need to understand where each of them actually built. So Drake's entire brand is built on one idea. Drake is on every single playlist, every genre, every mood. If you're heartbroken, there's a Drake song. If you're celebrating, there's a Drake song. If you're reflecting on life, there's a Drake song. And we're living in an era where people are stressed, lonely, anxious, burnt out. Drake's music acts as an emotional mirror. It meets people where they are and gives them validation. When you feel something, Drake already has a song about it. But at the same time, being everywhere means you stand for nothing specific. So when someone challenges your authenticity, for example, when Kendrick said, "You're not one of us," there's no foundation to fall back on. So let's talk about Kendrick because he built his brand on the opposite idea. Own one thing completely. So when Kendrick drops music, your brain instantly knows what it represents. West Coast, hip-hop, conscious lyricism, cultural authenticity. So this clarity creates trust because you know exactly what you're getting. It's not about listening to Kendrick when you're sad or you're vibing to his beats for personal comfort like Drake. His positioning taps into something much deeper. Shared struggles and common enemies. The system that's rigged, leaders who lie, societal barriers, cultural erasure. These are the villains he points to. His storytelling doesn't just mirror your emotions, it validates your worldview and gives you a sense of belonging in the fight. Using a common enemy in storytelling is powerful because humans are wired to bond over shared challenges. Neuroscience shows that conflict and narrative tension engage our attention and help information stick. When you position your brand like this, you're not just selling the product or the service, you're inviting people to be on your team, to feel part of something bigger. You create believers, not just fans, but people who defend you, amplify your message, and internalize values. So for business owners, is the difference between being someone people scroll past and someone people show up for. So if your brand only comforts, it entertains. But if your brand identifies enemies and solves problems for your audience, it inspires action. The reality is Drake had more fans, but Kendrick had more believers. Fans equals parasocial relationships. They like you, they enjoy what you create, they consume your content, but they don't always defend you when things get tough. Did you see how many of Drake's fans laughed along with the memes? Believers, on the other hand, may not always like you, but they trust you, internalize your message, defend you, and they spread your word for free. So you need to ask yourself, do I want a wide audience that occasionally engages, aka fans, or a smaller audience that that defends, buys, and evangelizes, also known as believers. But you can't always have both equally. Bear in mind that mass appeal can dilute credibility, just like Drake experienced. So who should actually use Drake's approach? Well, consumer brands that thrive on reach like Starbucks, Nike, Spotify, products that appeal to many moods or use cases. Creators who want to be omnipresent and emotionally versatile. Think of it like this: if your brand is built to meet people where they are in every mood, every moment, then Drake's approach works beautifully. But then who should use Kendrick's approach? Well, specialists and experts, consultants, thought leaders, basically high-end service providers, brands that are selling authority, trust, and cultural or technical credibility. Creators who want to be known for one thing and irreplaceable in that lane. So if your brand is built to own a specific niche, command respect, and generate trust, then Kendrick's approach might be best for you.